myself, so it keeps me from like primping and wanting to stop the video and start again and stop the video and start again because I don't like how I look. So I felt like it kind of worked out, so we're doing it. Anyway, today's video is gonna be a book haul. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a really long time, but it's not my standard book haul because I have 4 books. 1, 2, 3, 4 books that I brought from America. It was the final 4 books that I picked up at Goodwill before I left, and I couldn't ship them over because the boat had already left. So I had to put them in my suitcase, and it's also why I didn't pick up more, because after that I was like, oh, I don't know how much is gonna fit into my suitcase at this point. And then I have 3 books, 3 books that I picked up at Poundland. When we got over here, my husband had said, I said, do you have like an equivalent to the dollar store, kind of a store? And he's like, we have Poundland, but it's nothing like the dollar store. And I was like, do they have a lot more? He's like, no, a lot less actually. I'm not sure if he ever stepped a foot into a Poundland before, because when we went in I was like, what? They have clothes, makeup, eyelashes, food, like they have a ton of stuff in there. They don't have a ton of books, but I did find 3 Christmassy books that I was kind of excited to pick up in hopes to read soon because they're kind of small. Anyway, I'm gonna share these with you, so it'll be kind of like my goodbye to the US and hello to the UK for books. And I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to find some really great book deals when I'm here, but I haven't checked out any bookstores yet or anything. Maybe this weekend. I know we're going into the stores, into like the shops and stuff. My husband's taking me to like a store called like Next and Primark and Boots and yeah, I don't know, Super Dry or something. He's like, you need some hoodies, babe, like, because I'm cold all the time. I'm legitimately wearing my coat right now in the house. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna share with you first the books that I got from Goodwill in America. This one is called The Tattooist of Auschwitz. And again, these are like older books, they're not newer. Heather Morris wrote this based on the powerful true story of love and survival. I thought it sounded interesting. I tattooed her number on her left hand and she tattooed her number in my heart. The sleeve says April 1942, Leil Sokolov, a Slovakian Jew, is forcibly transported to the concentration camps at Auschwitz, Birkenau. I don't know, I'm probably going to say that wrong. When his captors discover that he speaks several languages, he is put to work at a tattooer, the German word for tattooist, tasked with permanently marking his fellow prisoners. Imprisoned for more than 2.5 years, Leil witnesses horrific was so interesting. My doctor, when I was a kid, like my childhood doctor, was actually a Holocaust survivor, and he had a tattoo from it. And his story was just freaking incredible. It was so amazing, and I always loved talking to him because he just had some of the most horrifying and incredible stories to tell. It was just insane, and it disgusts me that they're trying to get rid of talking about the Holocaust in history books in schools. It's crazy to me. Or to say that it never happened. Anyway, but yeah. I thought this sounded like an interesting little read. Have any of you read this before? If so, let me know what you thought of it. Okay, so that's the first one. Then I got The Last Boy and Girl in the World by Siobhan Vivian. Siobhan Vivian. I asked my husband today if he could take me to the local library sometime next week and take the kids just so we can see what it's like. A lot of times libraries in the US would sell their old books, so I'm curious to see if that's the same here. I just wanted to run over there because it's literally like right down the road from our house. Or the current house that we're staying in, I should say. Okay. When the rain first began to fall, we didn't see the bigger picture. We didn't even want to. The bigger picture was for our parents to worry about. We were 16, 17, 18, and focused on more exciting things, like how many days were left before school let out, and spring formal, and our dresses. When it started, the only thing I cared about was kissing Jessie Ford. I think it sounded so interesting because I feel like as a teenager, if like the end of the world was coming, that's exactly how you would be. Like, you're living your life and you're not even thinking about those things because like the bigger picture stuff is what your parents are supposed to take care of, right? I like feel like as parents we have to protect our children from certain things, but at the same time, it's crazy. Anyway, what if your town was sliding underwater and everyone was ordered to pack up and leave? How would you and your friends spend your last days together? While the adults plan for the future, box up their possessions, and find new places to live, Keely Hewitt and her friends decide to go out with a bang. There are parties in abandoned houses, canoe races down Main Street. The goal is to make the most of every minute they still have together. And for Keely, that means making one last shot at the boy she's loved forever. There's a weird sort of bravery that comes from knowing there's nothing left to lose. You might do things you normally wouldn't, or say things you shouldn't. The reward almost always outweighs the risk. Almost. It's the end of Aberdeen, but the beginning of Keely's first love story. It might just not turn out the way she thought, because it's not always clear what's worth fighting for, and what you should let become a memory. I had never heard of this one. I thought it sounded really good. I should probably speed it up. We're already 10 minutes in and I've only talked about 2 books. The third one I got, this was actually a referral from my sister a long time ago, back when we were talking more. It's Anna Kendrick, Scrappy Little Nobody. She said it was so good, and I'm such a big Anna Kendrick fan. I love her stuff. She's so cute. But yeah. love a good biography, honestly. But I only like them when they're written by them. Like, I won't read stuff that's written by like a third party, except for like, I did read a lot of, what is his name? He did Dave Navarro's book, as well as, what's that porn star? Jenna Jameson, he did hers too, but I can't think of what his name is now. But his stuff's good. Anyway. Even before she made a name for herself on the silver screen, starring in films like Pitch Perfect, Up in the Air, Twilight, and The Accountant, Anna Kendrick was unusually small, weird, and 10% defiant. At the ripe age of 13, she had already resolved to keep the crazy inside my head where it belonged, forever. But here's the thing about crazy. It wants out. With her razor-sharp wit in Scrappy Little Nobody, Anna recounts the absurdities she's experienced on her way to and from the art of pop culture as only she can, from her unusual path to the performing arts. Vanilla Ice and baggy neon pants may have played a role to her double life as a middle school student who also starred on Broadway, to her initial dating experiments, to reviewing a binder full of butt doubles, to her struggle to live like an adult woman instead of a perpetual man-child. Enter Anna's world and follow her rise from Scrappy Little Nobody to somebody who dazzles on the stage, the screen, and now the page. I feel like it's been so long since I've just done some book tapping. Got these cute little pictures. Right. Anyway, I thought that sounded good. I feel like I need to give you a disclaimer for this next one because I am, oh sorry, I bumped the mic. I am, let's see, I am a very firm believer in God, but I also like to hear other people's views. I'm not close-minded. It doesn't mean I entertain them, but I always like to hear the opposite side of the party. So I picked this one up, The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. A powerful argument for how to think about the place of religion in the modern world. It's going to be a classic. In his sensational international bestseller, the preeminent scientist and outspoken atheist Richard Dawkins delivers a hard-hitting, impassioned but humorous rebuttal of religious beliefs. That's the other thing too. I will say I'm not religious. I feel like sometimes religion and the things that religion wants you to live by can kill faith and your belief and your love for God. So that's how I'll put that out there. With rigor and wit, Dawkins eviscerates the arguments for religion and demonstrates the supreme improbability of the existence of a supreme being. He makes a compelling case that faith is not just irrational but potentially deadly. I may end up not fully reading this through because sometimes stuff like this frustrates me, mainly because I feel like there's an argument in another side, and a lot of times people are just stubborn and don't want to open their mind to the possibility of something else. So there's that too. He makes a compelling case that, oh, I just read that. In a preface written for the paperback edition, Dawkins responds to some of the controversies the book has incited. This brilliantly argued, provocative book challenges all of us to examine our beliefs, no matter what beliefs we hold. I'm just just curious, you know? I have my own relationship with God. So, I'm just curious. I'm always curious about religion or the atheist outlook. To each their own. Have any of you guys read this? Or tried to? Okay, so those are my last books from America. Wah, wah, wah. So the first books that I purchased in the UK, that's my dryer. The first books that I purchased in the UK are 3 little Christmas books from Poundland, and I definitely intend on doing another book haul, another little book haul, when I finally do like a more realistic like shop, right? Because I feel like 3 books from Poundland doesn't count. Nonetheless, I'm excited to share them with you because I love Christmas books. I love Christmas. I just think it's so fun. Great for kids. Hopeful. Just brightens my life, I guess. Okay, so maybe this isn't a Christmas book, but my other 2 are. Okay. Anyway, we'll see. It says Together in Lilac Well. Together in Lilac Well by Sasha Morgan. Now about 50 Poundland. Will they find their happy ever after in Lilac Well? Eva needs a change after a tragic miscarriage and breaking up with her unsupportive boyfriend. She is desperate for a new start, somewhere peaceful where she can focus on her pottery. It is in the cobbled courtyard of Lilac Well that she meets the mysterious Fitz, a carpenter who similarly escaped to the tiny village a few years earlier. But can you ever really run away from your past? Eva and Fitz, 2 wounded souls, will need to help each other heal if they are to find love and happiness once more. A charming and cozy romance. I think this was this girl's first book that she wrote. No, never mind. This is a series. Okay, this is the last book in the series. That's funny. I'm definitely reading them out of order. Oh well. That's okay. Okay, then we've got A Very Merry Manhattan Christmas. Oh, it's American. Darcy Bolin. Will friendship become something more? Lucy hates Christmas. Don't they always? I love this trope. It's the time of year when everything goes wrong in her life. So when she's asked to be a bridesmaid at her friend's Manhattan wedding, she jumps at the chance to get away. Dale has been best friends with Lucy for as long as he can remember. He's used to looking out for his oldest friend, and when she asks him to be her plus one, he can't seem to find a reason to refuse. I love this trope. In New York, as the snow starts to fall, Lucy and Dale begin to realize that their feelings run deeper than just friendship. But can they overcome their past and make it a very merry Manhattan Christmas? A fun, festive, and heartwarming romance to sweep you off your feet. Oh goodness. It's probably gonna be awful, but I'm so excited. Oh, where is she from? I don't know. New York. I think she's from New York, the author. So I guess that works. Anyway. Okay, and last but not least, our last book is by Suzanne Snow. know, where are you from? Ooh, it's got a Black Russian recipe. Stop. Vodka, Kahlua. And Olivia's Espresso Old Fashioned. It's got cocktail recipes in it. Can't beat that. So fun. I'm excited for Christmas this year, guys. She's from Lancashire. I don't know. I always say the names of these cities wrong here. It's so funny because my husband's like, it's not like America. Doesn't sound like it's spelled. And I'm like, what? He's like the other day, I was like, oh, look, because I can't find dill pickles in this country. And I'll get into this in another ramble, I'm sure. But I said, oh, look, they have some in Colwick, spelled Colwick. He said, they have them where? I said, Colwick. I don't know how far we have to drive, but if they're in Colwick, they have pickles you can pick up in a bag. I know it's questionable. I'm a bit desperate. So he's like, let me see. So he looks at it and he goes, no, that's colic. I said, what? How is that colic? There's a W in there. Come on, my dude. He's like, yeah, it's not pronounced how it's spelled. That's silly. So weird. Like, y'all just add letters but don't pronounce them. Right? Anyway. Alright, guys. That's the end of this book haul. Have you guys seen these books or read any of them? Do any of them sound good to you? Probably not. Crazy books that I pick up, right? But I think that'll almost put my stash over 800. I'm so looking forward to setting out my books and my space, my film space, finding our home. I'm just looking forward to that. But again, that's a ramble for another day. Alright, guys. Thanks again for coming to hang out with me. I always appreciate you. What are you currently reading? If you've made it this far, let me know in the comments below, or just leave me a little book emoji. Alright, guys, I'll see you in my next